The explosive showdown, Trump, Putin, and the collapse of American foreign policy the day the world changed. Trump's sudden declaration of war, rhetorical or real, on Putin. The scene was set for another routine day in Washington's endless political theater until the unthinkable happened. At 8:37 a.m. on a rain-soaked Tuesday, former President Donald J. Trump, in a move that sent seismic shockwaves through every intelligence agency, diplomatic outpost, and newsroom across the globe, abruptly abandoned his years-long policy of appeasement toward Vladimir Putin and instead issued a blistering public threat that could only be described as economic warfare. We've been too soft, too weak. The tariffs are coming, the real tariffs. Putin thinks he can play us. He's about to find out what happens when you cross Donald J. Trump. The statement, posted on Truth Social in his trademark erratic caps lock style, was so stunning in its reversal that even his most loyal allies were left scrambling for explanations. Had Trump finally seen the light? Was this a genuine strategic shift, or was this, as his critics alleged, yet another impulsive tantrum from a man who governs by gut instinct rather than grand strategy? To understand the magnitude of this moment, we must first dissect the psychology of Donald Trump's relationship with Vladimir Putin, a twisted dance of admiration, manipulation, and, now, perhaps, betrayal. The Putin-Trump romance, a love story built on illusions for years. Trump's infatuation with Putin was the worst-kept secret in Washington. He praised the Russian strawman's genius, dismissed his assassinations of political rivals as just something that happens, and, most infamously, stood on the world stage in Helsinki and sided with Putin over his own intelligence agencies. But something has changed. The love affair is over, according to first senior administration officials who spoke on condition of anonymity. Trump had grown increasingly furious with Putin's refusal to grant him the one thing he craved above all else, a W.N. He thought he could call up Putin, make a deal, and walk away with a Nobel Prize, one official revealed. Instead, Putin played him, and Trump hates being played. The intelligence briefings Trump ignored until it was too late. Mark Palomares, former CIA senior intelligence officer, pulls no punches. This is what happens when a president refuses to listen to his own spies. For months, the intelligence community has been warning Trump Putin will never negotiate in good faith. He will lie, delay, and escalate until he gets what he wants. But Trump didn't want to hear it. He was convinced his charm, his deal-making prowess, would succeed where others failed. And now, the harsh reality has set in. Russia has ramped up its brutal assault on Ukrainian civilians, sabotaged US-backed peace talks, and, most humiliatingly for Trump, openly mocked his administration's weakness in state-run media. Putin isn't scared of tariffs, Palomares adds. He's survived worse. What would actually scare him? If Trump suddenly approved those long-range missiles for Ukraine, if he actually enforced real sanctions on Russian oil. But let's be honest, that's not happening. Chapter 2, Tyler Pager's White House Scoop. Trump's meltdown behind closed doors. Tyler Pager, White House correspondent for the New York Times, has obtained exclusive, never-before-reported details of Trump's private fury in the days leading up to his public outburst. This wasn't a calculated move, Pager reveals. This was pure, unfiltered rage. Sources describe Trump screaming at aides, ranting about how Putin lied to his face, and demanding immediate retaliation. But here's the most explosive revelation. Trump personally called Putin in a last-ditch effort to salvage a deal, and Putin hung up on him. That was the breaking point. A senior SC official confirms, no one hangs up on Trump. No one. After that call, he was done playing nice. Yet for all the drama, the critical question remains, will Trump's words translate into action? Pager's sources are skeptical. He's talking tough now. But what happens in a week when Putin dangles the prospect of a big, beautiful deal in front of him? Trump's attention span is shorter than a TikTok clip. If Putin waits him out, this whole thing could blow over by next month. Chapter 3, The Pentagon and Chaos. Secretary Austin's wife in classified meetings. Signal leaks. and a Defense Department on the brink. If the Trump-Putin drama weren't enough, the Wall Street Journal has dropped a thermonuclear report that could bring down the entire leadership of the U.S. military. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, already under fire for the catastrophic signal chat leaks, has now been caught in an even more egregious scandal, bringing his wife to classified meetings with foreign military officials. Mark Palomares breaks it down. This isn't just a breach, it's a felony. The Secretary of Defense deals with information that, if leaked, could get people killed. And now, we learn his wife was in the room. This is unprecedented incompetence. But the real scandal, this wasn't a what-I'm mistake. Multiple sources confirm this happened repeatedly, Palomares says, which means either Austin is astonishingly reckless, or he simply doesn't believe the rules apply to him. The fallout. Will Austin survive? Trump has so far refused to fire him, but Congress is livid. We are this close to a bipartisan demand for his resignation, a senior Senate aide reveals. Democrats think he's a security risk. Republicans think he's embarrassing the administration. The only reason he's still there is because Trump hates admitting he hired the wrong guy. The GOP's foreign policy civil war, Vance vs. the establishment. And then there's Vice President Mike Vance, whose leaked signal messages reveal a stunning rebellion against Trump's foreign policy. Vance wasn't just disagreeing, he was actively undermining the president's decisions, Palomares explains. In one message, he openly questioned Trump's order for airstrikes, telling aides to slow walk the process. That's not how this works. The vice president doesn't get to veto the commander-in-chief's orders. The implications are earth-shattering. Trump's administration is at war with itself. The GOP's foreign policy doctrine is in total disarray. America's enemies are watching and laughing. The endgame: will Trump's bluster lead to war? As this high-stakes geopolitical thriller unfolds, one terrifying question looms. Could Trump's frustration with Putin escalate into actual military conflict? It's not out of the question, Palomares warns. If Trump feels humiliated enough, he could lash out in ways we can't predict. And Putin, he wants chaos. That's his strategy. Tyler Pager's final assessment is chilling. We are in uncharted territory. Trump is volatile. Putin is ruthless. And the world is one miscalculation away from disaster. Epilogue. History will judge this moment. The next days, weeks, and months will determine the fate of U.S. foreign policy for a generation. Will Trump's outburst lead to real change? Or will this be remembered as another hollow tantrum in the unraveling of American global leadership? One thing is certain, the world is watching, and the stakes have never been higher.